Welcome back, everyone. We're jumping straight into another deep dive today.
That's right.
We're digging into the Tech Ctrl+Alt+Read newsletter, the June 8th, 2025 edition, number 10. Our mission, as always, is to unpack it, find those key nuggets, and help you get up to speed fast on what's happening in tech.
And there's a big one right at the top.
Yeah, flagged as trending, Apple's WWDC. Looks like a major software overhaul is expected.
Exactly. That tag means pay attention. WWDC 2025 kicks off June 9th, and this newsletter suggests we're really in for some pretty notable software changes across, well, everything Apple.
Okay, let's get into it. The source mentions a significant transformation,
Yeah.
starting with how they name their operating systems.
Right.
We're talking iOS 26, macOS 26, aligning the version with the upcoming year.
Yeah, it sounds simple, like just a name change, but it really signals a shift, doesn't it? Makes that annual update cadence super clear.
Predictable.
Predictable, easier to track for everyone. It implies a very structured plan going forward.
And visually, the newsletter says iOS 26 is getting a big design refresh, heavily influenced by the Vision Pro. Translucent, glassy.
Yeah. That's interesting, seeing the high-end design trickle down.
Right.
That Vision Pro look could give the iPhone and iPad a more modern, maybe sophisticated feel, unifies things.
Now, the big topic everywhere, AI. The newsletter mentions improvements to Apple Intelligence.
Of course.
But what caught my eye was developer access. Potential developer access to on-device AI models.
Okay, that's actually pretty significant. Apple's whole thing is privacy, on-device processing.
Yeah, big man.
So giving developers access to those on-device models, that lets third-party apps build powerful AI features without necessarily sending your data off somewhere.
So it empowers the ecosystem while sticking to their guns on privacy.
Precisely. Could unlock a lot of app innovation.
Yeah. There's always a but, isn't there? A bit lower down, it mentions major features like a totally redesigned Siri, reportedly pushed to 2026.
Yes, that's the important caveat here. We might see some AI tweaks developer tools this year, but the really big game-changing stuff, like a ground-up Siri rebuild, that sounds like it's still maybe a year away.
Suggests it's complex or just not quite ready for prime time.
Could be either, or both. It just, tempers the immediate AI hype a little bit.
Still, the source lists other potential updates. A new gaming hub replacing Game Center.
Right.
Live translation via AirPods, maybe.
Yeah.
Enhanced CarPlay?
Yeah, so they're touching different parts of the ecosystem, gaming accessibility, the car. It's broad.
So summing up WWDC from this source, looks like strong foundations, developer focus this year, even if the flashiest AI might be on the horizon for next year.
Exactly. It feels like they're determined to show concrete progress now, especially for developers. And what this means for you is it really sets the scene for how you'll interact with your devices over the next year. The look, the feel, what apps can do.
Okay, great overview. Let's move beyond Apple now. The newsletter breaks things down really well by category. How about startups, VCs, and funding? Where's the money flowing?
Always a good place to look. It's like a heat map for innovation, right? Shows where investors are placing their bets.
And some of these bets are huge. A Stanford Math PhD's AI startup eyes on a $300 million valuation for predictive modeling.
Wow.
U.com, the AI search engine, talking new funding at a $1.4 billion valuation.
See, the scale is just incredible, especially for AI-focused companies. Investors clearly believe AI is foundational, not just a feature, whether it's search or complex modeling.
And then Anysphere, they make the AI coding tool, Cursor, apparently hit $500 million ARR and secured a $9.9 billion valuation, almost $10 billion.
Right. That combination, rapid revenue growth and that kind of valuation, it just screams how much value is placed on anything boosting developer productivity.
Companies are willing to pay for speed.
Big time. Efficiency is king.
There's also Toma AI voice agents for car dealerships. Got funding from A16Z.
Yeah, I like that example. Shows AI isn't just abstract tech, it's solving specific problems in traditional industries like sales interactions, finding those niches.
And then Anduril, defense tech, raised $2.5 billion at a $30.5 billion valuation. Founders Fund led it.
That is just monumental. Anduril is all about AI, automation, autonomous systems for defense. It's a huge indicator of the investment trend in defense tech right now, especially tech integrating AI.
So the overall picture from these examples.
AI, driving massive investment across the board, core tech like Coding, search, specific verticals, even national security. That's clearly where the smart money thinks the future lies.
Okay, let's shift to acquisitions, IPOs, corporate strategy. How are the big players moving?
Right. These moves signal strategic direction, not just deals, but intentions.
IBM's busy. Acquired 𝐂𝐩𝐤𝐲, a data analytics startup, and launched a new AI accelerator hub in New York.
Yeah, that shows they're pushing hard to weave AI into their enterprise data stuff and cultivate talent locally, staying relevant.
Salesforce bought MoonHub AI for hiring tools.
Classic acquisition play, right? Buy specific AI capability to enhance a core product area, like HR tech. AI is becoming table stakes.
On the markets, Circle had a huge IPO. Shares up 180%.
Blockbuster debut, their big and stable coins, digital currency infrastructure, shows serious investor confidence in that space beyond just crypto volatility.
Interesting board move. Palo Alto Networks CEO Nikesh Arora joined Uber's board.
That is interesting cross-pollination. Putting a top cybersecurity mind on the board of a global platform like Uber really highlights how critical security is now.
It's not just an IT issue anymore.
Absolutely not. It's fundamental business strategy, risk management.
And Microsoft, reshuffling leadership to focus more sharply on AI agents.
Yeah, that's an internal shift, but super important. It shows how seriously they take AI agents, AI acting autonomously for users. They're betting big on that being a major future interface.
So the theme here is AI focus, M&A driven by AI, security elevation, and strong market signals for things like stablecoins.
You got it. Clear strategic pivots across the industry.
All right, let's dive deeper into AI itself. The newsletter has a dedicated section, naturally.
Makes sense. It touches everything.
Google's talking of Gemini 2.5 Pro for coding, but they delayed that Ask Photos AI feature.
Yeah, so progress on one front, maybe some hurdles on another. They also launched a local AI app.
And the CEO is managing expectations, talking growth, but also addressing job fears.
Right, it shows the complexity.
Yeah.
Improving developer tools, exploring on-device stuff, but maybe hitting roadblocks with consumer features and navigating that tricky public conversation about AI's impact.
Amazon's getting physical. Testing humanoid robots for deliveries. And a new R&D group for agentic AI and robotics.
That's Amazon playing to its strengths, logistics, hardware, exploring AI that interacts with the real world. Agentic AI plus robotics for delivery or warehouse work. Huge long-term potential.
Perplexity, the AI search engine, handled 780 million queries last month.
That scale is wild. Shows how quickly people are adopting these new AI-native search tools. It's a real shift potentially.
And ChatGPT is getting more integrated meeting recording connectors for Google Drive. Box.
Making it less standalone, more embedded in your workflow. Practical, sticky, makes sense.
Plus, Mistral launched Mistral Code, another AI coding assistant.
Yeah, the competition there is fierce. Everyone wants to build the best AI tool for developers, reinforces what we saw in funding.
So the bottom line for listeners on AI.
It's becoming deeply woven into the tools you use: daily search, productivity, coding, and new AI-powered services are popping up fast. It's not just theoretical anymore.
Okay, what about broader tech and app news beyond just AI focus?
Some interesting platform plays and business model stuff here.
Snap's pushing AR Creation Lens Studio on iOS and web with AI tools, and a Snapchat app for Apple Watch.
Right, democratizing AR creation, making it easier for people to build stuff and extending their platform to wearables, meet users where they are.
AppLovin apparently challenging Google in mobile ads, using innovation and strategic disruption.
Strong words. Highlights that even in mature markets like mobile ads, focused companies can still shake things up.
And this one's key. The App Store debate. Developers looking for fee relief after a court ruling, while the App Store itself generated $1.3 trillion in billings and sales.
That just captures the whole tension perfectly, doesn't it? Massive economic engine, the App Store, huge numbers. But the legal and regulatory pressure over fees and control, that's not going away.
Could really change things down the line.
Absolutely. How apps get built, sold, everything.
Hugging Face released a super efficient robotics model that runs on a MacBook.
That's cool because it makes advanced AI accessible, takes powerful tools out of the supercomputer labs and puts them onto hardware people actually have, lowers the barrier for robotics innovation.
And social media. X-testing highlighting cross-ideological likes.
Interesting experiment, trying to break filter bubbles maybe? Complex stuff.
And a new tool called Bounce helps migrate followings between Bluesky and Mastodon.
That's practical. Addresses the fragmented social landscape. People want portability for their networks. So, yeah, innovation in AR, ads, app economics, accessible AI, social dynamics, lots happening.
Underpinning all this is the cloud, right? The newsletter covers that infrastructure race.
Definitely. It's the foundation. And the expansion is relentless.
Alibaba expanding in Indonesia. AWS launching a sovereign cloud in Germany.
Data residency is key there.
Microsoft putting $400 million into Switzerland. Amazon committing $10 billion for AI infra in North Carolina.
Just massive investments globally. It's a land grab driven heavily by AI's compute needs. They're building the future's digital roads.
And Snowflake bought Crunchy Data.
Right, for better PostgreSQL integration. Shows they're embracing open source, meeting customers where their data is. It's all about building out that foundational layer.
What's security? Always important, always a bit grim.
Yeah, the threats are constant and varied.
Ransomware gang claims a hack on Kettering Health.
Healthcare continues to be a target.
Lee Enterprises data breach hits 40,000 people. Indian grocery startup Current Pro hacked. Servers wiped.
Ouch. Shows the range. Ransomware, data theft, destructive attacks. Affects everyone from big orgs to startups.
Celebrate bought Corellium for $170 million. That's digital forensics.
Bolstering capabilities to analyze devices.
A bug in Vanta, a security company itself, exposed data.
Oof. Reminder that vulnerabilities can be anywhere.
And attacks hit Victoria's Secret, North Face, Cartier. Big consumer brands.
Prime targets for customer data. So, yeah, the takeaway is constant vigilance. For you listening, it just reinforces needing strong security habits personally and at work.
Moving to hardware and semiconductors. The chips making it all possible.
The real engine room.
AMD is pushing hard on AI hardware, acquiring from Untether AI, buying Brium.
Aggressively building their AI chip capabilities. Trying to compete.
Speeda making APUs got $44 million Series B.
Shows investment in specialized chips beyond just CPUs, GPUs for things like analytics.
And this is wild. Space Forge raised $30 million to make chip materials in space.
Yeah, exploring manufacturing in microgravity, the idea is maybe you can create superior materials up there. Very long term, but potentially revolutionary.
Qualcomm had to patch critical 0 days in Android chips.
Security right down at the hardware level. Crucial reminder.
And Google Glass is back. Sort of. New AI glasses with Android XR.
Fascinating comeback. Betting on AI assistance and better tech this time around to make smart glasses stick. So innovation from basic materials to new form factors, all chasing performance and new interactions, driven by AI.
Okay, last category. Fintech. Financial technology.
Still moving fast. Changing how we handle money.
Revenue Cat and Paddle partnering to help app devs with web payments.
Yeah, giving developers options outside the app stores, maybe avoiding those fees, more control.
Venmo adding debit card perks, new payment options.
Just iterating, adding value to keep users sticky on a popular platform.
And big funding globally. PalmPay in Africa talking $100 million. Boltec raising $147 million for embedded insurance, hitting a $2.1 billion valuation.
Embedded insurance is a hot niche, integrating it right into purchases.
And NomiPay, Irish fintech, got $40 million from SoftBank.
Shows strong global investor interest, specific niches like embedded insurance growing fast, affects how you pay, manage money, interact with financial services online and in apps.
The newsletter also lists conferences and podcasts.
Yeah, good pulse check. This week alone, besides WWDC, there's Cisco Live, London Tech Week, Infotech, Live-E. Just shows how packed the industry calendar is.
So much happening all at once.
Exactly. And the podcast list gives ideas for deeper dives. Things like State of Consumer Tech in the Age of AI or Fusion Energy will power the AI boom.
That fusion energy one sounds intense.
Right. Hints at the sheer power future AI might need. Lots to think about.
Okay, before we finish, let's grab the tech tip of the week. This one's about battery life.
Ah, yes, a practical one. Smart charging, longer battery life. Simple, but effective.
How does that work, basically?
Well, the idea is don't just leave your laptop or phone plugged in at 100% all the time.
Okay.
Keeping lithium-ion batteries constantly full stresses them out. It's better to let them cycle more, maybe aim to keep the charge between, say, 20% and 80% most of the time.
Right.
It can genuinely help the battery last longer over its lifespan. And lots of newer devices have settings now to manage this automatically, like stopping the charge at 80%.
That's a great tip. Super actionable. Check your settings, folks.
Exactly. A small tweak can make a real difference down the road. Saves frustration, maybe even money.
Wow. Okay, that was a whirlwind tour through the Tech Ctrl+Alt+Read newsletter. We covered so much. Apple's upcoming shifts, AI funding mania, corporate strategies, cloud, hardware, security. The whole landscape.
It really is a snapshot, just one edition, but it paints a vivid picture of the key forces, especially AI, reshaping pretty much everything in tech right now.
So as we wrap up, here's something for you listening to think about. With all this information flying around, this incredible pace of change, how do you filter it all? How do you stay informed without getting totally